Archangel Michael says, "This is about the house you are living in." Very soon, a woman is going to walk in with something you were not expecting, and it will change everything. Don't skip this message before fully listening to it. There are moments when heaven draws closer than we realize, and the space you call home begins to carry whispers of something divine preparing to unfold. You may not feel it yet, and you might not understand the reason behind the quiet stirring inside your heart, but I have been sent to tell you that your house, the very place where you sit, where you sleep, where you think and cry and pray, is about to be touched by the mercy and glory of the living God. What's coming is not just a visit, but a transformation, a healing of old wounds that have long been buried beneath the surface, waiting for a gentle moment of heaven to release them. Type 1010 if you trust in God's timing. As you continue living your days in that familiar space, know that something has already begun shifting in the spiritual atmosphere. What once felt like heaviness, like silence, like unanswered prayers floating in the air, is now being replaced with an invisible preparation. Something sacred is moving through the walls, through the very foundations of where you dwell. God has not forgotten the tears you have wept in secret, the times you closed the door and sank to your knees when no one else saw you, the whispers you offered in faith, hoping that someone in heaven was truly listening. This house has absorbed your cries. It has witnessed your sleepless nights. It has held the quiet presence of your pain, your questions, your endurance, your effort to keep going when everything in you wanted to give up. But this house, this very place, is not just a structure made of bricks and wood. To God, it is sacred ground, a vessel of your journey, and now, a chosen space for something divine to take place. You may feel tired, and your heart may feel worn, but the Lord is sending someone, a woman, not just as a visitor, but as a vessel, carrying something from heaven's hand that will touch your life in a way you never imagined possible. What if you could unlock a secret brain wave that top scientists discovered inside the hippocampus, the very switch that signals wealth and abundance? Hidden from the public for decades, this breakthrough can rewire your mind to attract prosperity faster than you imagined. Picture the stress of bills replaced with financial freedom and new opportunities. Click the link in the video description and comments below to activate this ancient money wave and step into abundance today. She may not appear how you expect. She may not carry signs or symbols that make sense right away. But do not judge what heaven sends by outward appearance. She comes with presence, with grace, with an invisible light wrapped around her, and she is led not by her own will, but by the Spirit of God. She is carrying words that were not born in her own heart, but that were given to her for you. She is walking into your space because God has chosen this moment to remind you that He sees you, all of you, and that this house is no longer a silent place, but a space being filled with divine movement, divine restoration, and divine intervention. When she enters, you may feel something inside you shift, not out of fear, but out of deep recognition that this is a moment you have long waited for without even knowing you were waiting. She may speak gently, or perhaps she may say very little, but the weight of her presence will carry heaven's fragrance. Her steps will not be ordinary. Every movement she makes will stir something in your spirit, and even if your mind cannot understand it fully, your soul will feel like it is finally being seen, heard, and comforted. Type 888 to open doors of abundance. God is using her to awaken what has been sleeping inside you. The old dreams that were buried because life got too hard, the promises you thought were too distant to ever come true, the joy that once felt alive in you but was lost along the way, all of it is about to be breathed on again by the one who restores what was broken and brings beauty out of sorrow. This is not about the woman herself. This is about the God who sends her. And more than that, this is about you, your healing, your rising, your return to hope. There is a reason this message is reaching you now. There is a reason you are still reading this, still listening, still holding on. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. The house you live in is about to witness something sacred, and this is not just for a moment. This is the beginning of something greater than you have ever known. It is not too late for your story to change. It is not too late for your soul to sing again. It is not too late for joy to find its way back into your space. This woman is coming, not just to speak, but to be a sign. A sign that God's hand has reached into your life again. A sign that the prayers you thought had disappeared into silence have actually been kept safe in God's heart all along. And now, He is sending an answer, not in thunder, not in lightning, but in the gentle form of someone walking through your door at the perfect time, with something beautiful to give, not because you earned it, but because you are loved. Prepare your heart, not with fear, but with expectation. Clean the space not with worry, but with quiet worship. Stand in your doorway not with doubt, but with wonder. Because something sacred is approaching, and your house is no longer just a house, it is about to become the scene of a miracle. A soft, quiet, heart-healing miracle. A sign that God is near. A reminder that heaven knows your name. And above all, a message, wrapped in grace, that says, you are not alone anymore. Archangel Michael says, the message I bring is still about the house you are living in, because what is coming into your life has already been written in heaven, and a woman, chosen by God, is on her way with something that will open a door you didn't even know was closed. Please listen carefully to what is being spoken into your spirit now. This house has carried the weight of many memories. Some of them are warm and filled with the laughter that once danced through its rooms, but others carry silence, unanswered prayers, and long nights that left behind shadows too deep to describe. You have tried to keep your hope alive within these walls, and even when the days felt too heavy to bear, you still kept waking up, you still kept trying, and you still kept believing, even if that belief was as small as a whisper. That small faith, that fragile, hidden hope, has reached the heart of God, and now He is moving in ways that will make the impossible possible within your own walls. Type 1212 if you believe God is guiding you. Heaven never rushes. Every moment is prepared with such care, and this moment is no exception. The shift you feel is not imagined, it is real, and it is sacred. A divine appointment has been written with your name on it. A woman is coming, not to disturb your life, but to fulfill something holy that has been delayed for too long. She is not a stranger in God's eyes. She has walked through her own fires, and now she carries oil, oil of healing, oil of peace, oil of sacred purpose that she does not even fully understand herself. Her presence will not bring confusion. Her arrival will not stir fear. Instead, it will feel like the wind after a long storm, like rain on dry land, like a forgotten prayer being answered right in front of your eyes. You may be wondering why this is happening now, why after everything you've endured, heaven chooses this season to send someone. It's because you have reached a place where your heart is open just enough to receive again. Pain has humbled you. Trials have purified you. Loneliness has softened your spirit to recognize love when it finally walks in. And even though your heart may still carry bruises from things that were unfair and words that broke you in places no one ever saw, you are ready now, not because you are perfect, but because God has declared that your house is finally ready to receive what He has long been preparing. What if the missing piece to financial success wasn't luck, but a hidden frequency inside your brain waiting to be switched on? Once activated, this ancient signal unleashes waves of prosperity, opening doors to opportunities you never thought possible. From sudden windfalls to long-awaited breakthroughs, it's transforming lives daily. Want to see how? Click the link in the video description and comments below to tap into the money magnet brain wave and begin your journey today. There is something holy about the timing of God. He does not move according to the calendar on your wall. He moves according to the needs of your soul. And now, your soul is hungering again for something deeper than what this world can give, something that speaks peace into your fears, something that touches wounds too deep for words, something that can only come from the one who formed you in love and still calls you by name, even when your faith feels faint. That's why this woman is coming, not to fix you, but to remind you that you were never broken beyond repair. Her words may be soft, but they will carry the weight of truth. She will not offer explanations for your pain, but she will bring with her a kind of light that makes the darkness lose its grip. She may sit with you in silence, and yet something inside you will begin to breathe again. She may look you in the eye, and you will feel known without needing to explain anything. This is the kind of moment God creates when He wants to break years of silence with one divine touch. And He has chosen your house, your story, your heart, because He sees what no one else sees, and He remembers what you've tried to forget. There will be a gentle stirring when she enters, not something loud or dramatic, but a quiet sense of holiness. The air will feel different. Your spirit will rise, even if your body still feels tired. You may not recognize it right away, but you will sense that something beyond this world is unfolding right in your own space. God's timing is always covered in mercy, and when He decides to restore something, He does not send empty words, He sends people filled with purpose. And this woman, this visitor, is coming with more than words, she is bringing breakthrough. So let your heart be calm. Do not resist what God is doing. You don't have to understand every detail to trust what's being orchestrated from above. Just know this, God's eyes have been on your house, not for judgment, but for restoration. And what is about to happen is not the end of your story, it's the beginning of something new, something sacred, something so personal and powerful that only heaven could have written it. You were never forgotten. And now, heaven is coming to remind you, right where you live. Type 333 to welcome blessings. Archangel Michael says, this message still concerns the house you are living in, because the Lord has already marked it for something sacred, and very soon, a woman chosen by divine instruction will arrive bearing something far more valuable than you've ever expected. Let these words settle into your heart as you fully receive them. Every room in your house has held a moment of your journey, and not a single one has gone unnoticed by the eyes of God. The corners that have witnessed your tears, the walls that have echoed your prayers, the floor that has carried the weight of your weariness, all of it has become part of a sacred story that heaven has been carefully writing in the quiet. Though the world around you may not understand the depth of what you've carried, heaven does, and God is now preparing to bring healing, comfort, and answers into that very space where you once felt forgotten. You have walked through seasons that tested the limits of your strength. There were days when you thought the silence would never end, nights when you lay awake wondering if any of your cries had ever reached beyond the ceiling. The heaviness in your spirit made it hard to believe that change could come, not just outside of you, but within your own walls, in the very atmosphere you breathe. But now, the time has come. God is ready to bring light into the shadows, and He is sending a sign, wrapped not in thunder, but in the quiet presence of a woman who has been chosen for this moment with intention, not coincidence. She is not being sent to you by accident. Her arrival is part of something heaven has long prepared. Though she may not fully understand the magnitude of what she carries, she walks in obedience. She is not coming to entertain, to question, or to disrupt. She comes as a vessel, filled with the fragrance of peace, the softness of grace, and the kind of presence that makes hearts remember they are not alone. Her footsteps carry the permission you've been needing to rest, to breathe, to believe again. What she carries is not a gift you can touch with your hands. It is something meant for your soul, a word, a moment, a silence that feels like a warm embrace. She may not stay long, but her presence will leave something behind that changes everything. You may feel a stillness you haven't felt in years. You may cry without knowing why. You may feel something deep inside begin to stir, not out of confusion, but out of the quiet realization that something holy is unfolding in your life. God has seen how long you have waited. He knows the longing you buried beneath your responsibilities, the hope you silenced because it hurt too much to keep it alive. And now, instead of shaking your world with noise, He is choosing to come gently, quietly, through a messenger whose heart carries heaven's love. She may speak words that feel like they were meant for no one else but you. She may pause mid-sentence, and yet everything in you will know that it is God who is speaking through her, right into your waiting heart. This house will never be the same again. Not because of renovations or decorations, but because God is stepping into it with purpose. His presence will linger in the air long after she leaves. There will be peace where there once was restlessness. There will be clarity where confusion once lingered. There will be warmth in places that felt cold and distant. God is not just answering your prayers, He is rewriting the ending you thought you had to settle for. Type 777 if you walk by faith. You do not need to prepare anything in haste. What's coming cannot be manufactured by human effort. All you need to do is open your heart. Make room not just in your home, but in your spirit. Let the weight of yesterday fall off your shoulders. Let go of the fear that nothing will ever change. Let the atmosphere in your house begin to shift with worship, even if it's only a soft whisper in the middle of the night. Because heaven has heard you, and now, heaven is moving. She is coming soon. And when she does, don't be surprised if time feels slower, if the air feels softer, if your soul begins to breathe in ways it forgot how to. This is not the end of your pain, this is the beginning of your healing. This is not the conclusion of your story, this is the turning of a sacred page, one that has been hidden in God's hands until now. So remain open. Stay expectant. And remember, this is about more than a house. It is about your heart, your healing, your restoration. And the woman who comes will carry not just a message, but a movement of love from the Father's own heart, written just for you. Archangel Michael says, the message remains about the house you are living in, because what is being sent to you, through a woman led by heaven, will not only bless your space but will touch every hidden corner of your heart with healing, restoration, and a comfort you didn't know you still needed, so let this part reach your spirit in full. What if a simple 7-minute sound frequency could awaken a forgotten brain signal designed to pull wealth toward you like a magnet? Backed by shocking CIA files and neuroscience, this discovery is now changing lives everywhere. Think of debts melting away, promotions arriving, and abundance flowing freely. Click the link in video description and comments below to experience the hidden wealth wave and let your financial destiny shift in your favor today. The Lord has been walking through your house long before you ever noticed the shift. When you thought you were walking alone through quiet rooms with unanswered prayers, He was there. When the silence became too loud and the days began to blend into one another with no sign of change, He remained. There was never a moment when He stepped away or stopped watching over you. And though it may have seemed like nothing was happening, all this time, heaven has been preparing something beautiful, not far away, but right where you live. You must understand something very sacred is unfolding, not with noise or commotion, but with a calmness that reaches the soul deeper than anything else can. The Father does not need loud events to change lives. He moves in peace, in timing, in gentle nudges that seem small but carry the full weight of His love. Your home has become the chosen place for one of those sacred moments, a place where the next step in your healing will take root. And though you may have looked at the walls around you with weariness or the same routine day after day, they are about to become witnesses to a divine turning point in your life. Type 999 if you trust Jesus with all your heart. There is a softness that will come with her, the woman who is being sent. She does not bring attention to herself. She does not need to. The presence of God will rest upon her, and that alone will fill your house with something you cannot explain but will recognize deep within. Her voice may be low, her gestures gentle, but the message she carries will be strong enough to stir your very soul. She is not bringing change, she is carrying confirmation that change has already begun. She will not come with answers to every question, nor will she speak as though she understands every part of your journey. But her presence will feel like light breaking through a window that's been closed for too long. She is not the answer, but she has been chosen as part of the answer. And what she leaves behind after she goes will be more important than anything she says while she's present. God is not sending her to impress you. He is sending her to release something inside you, something buried, something sacred, something ready to come alive again. There are memories in your house, and some of them carry deep pain. Rooms that once heard laughter may now echo with silence. Spaces that once felt full may have become quiet over time. But the Lord is walking through those places now, not to erase the past, but to breathe healing into it. He is not here to forget what you've lived through. He is here to redeem it. And as that woman enters your life, so does a gentle, holy reminder that no pain is permanent in God's hands, and no sorrow is beyond the reach of His comfort. Even now, the angels are preparing your house. Not in visible ways, but in spiritual ones. Peace is being poured into the air. Hope is being released into the atmosphere. And though everything may still look the same around you, something has already shifted. There will be a moment when you sit alone, and the stillness will feel warm, not empty. That is heaven letting you know that what's coming is near. And you do not need to fear it. It has been chosen for you by a God who knows how to love you in ways that restore what you didn't even know was missing. This woman may come with no grand entrance, no explanation of what she carries. But when she enters your space, your soul will recognize something greater than the moment. You will feel a release, even if you cannot name it. You will feel safe, even if you haven't felt safe in a long time. Her arrival is not a coincidence. Her words will not be random. The way she sits, the way she speaks, the timing of her presence, all of it is woven into a plan far greater than either of you can fully understand in that moment. So stay open. Not just with your eyes, but with your heart. Pay attention to the small things, the way peace settles around you when she speaks, the way your burdens feel lighter without effort, the way your spirit leans in without hesitation. These are signs that heaven is moving. These are confirmations that God's hand is upon your house and your life. You are being invited into a moment of deep renewal, and everything that follows will carry the fragrance of God's love poured out in ways both seen and unseen. Type "I love God" to claim abundance through God's love. You do not have to strive for it. You do not have to earn it. You only need to receive it. Because what is being given is not based on your strength, but on God's mercy. And what is coming through her is not a simple visit, it is a sacred appointment, sealed in love and sent in perfect time. Archangel Michael says, "This message continues to speak about the house you are living in, because what heaven has chosen to send through the presence of this woman will not just enter your home, it will touch the spiritual foundation beneath your very life, shifting what you thought was finished and reviving what you believed was lost." Listen with your spirit as each word reaches you. There are seasons when nothing changes around you, yet something begins to change within you. You may not be able to explain it, but your heart starts to ache in new ways, your soul becomes more sensitive to silence, and your spirit starts longing for something it cannot name. That is not confusion. That is the voice of God preparing you for something sacred, something carefully written for your life long before the pain came, long before the prayers went unanswered. That is where you are now, standing in a house that looks the same, but carrying a spirit that is being prepared for a holy encounter. The atmosphere in your home has already started to change, even before the woman arrives. The shift is gentle. It won't come with thunder or loud signs. It will come like morning light, quietly entering the corners of your space, warming what has felt cold, illuminating what has long remained hidden. You'll begin to notice a soft clarity, a sense of awareness that something greater is drawing near. That feeling is not your imagination. That stillness you keep sensing is not emptiness, it is God making room for what's about to take place. This woman, who is walking toward you even now, is not just coming with comfort. She is carrying alignment. Her presence will reconnect what life has scattered. She will not fix everything in your life, nor is she coming to complete your story, but she is a bridge, a divine interruption meant to awaken the part of you that still believes, even after everything. She is not coming as a guest, she is coming as a messenger. And when she steps into your house, your heart will know that this is no ordinary visit. Type 666 if you trust in God's grace and mercy. There is something in your house that needs to be stirred again, not a physical object, but a spiritual memory. The memory of who you were before the hurt settled in, the dream that once burned bright before it was buried by disappointment, the faith that once stood tall before it was worn down by years of waiting. Her voice will speak to those parts of you. Not with pressure, but with kindness. Not with force, but with gentle assurance that God still sees the version of you that you thought had faded. She will not bring every answer, but she will bring peace that silences your need to understand everything. She will not come to solve, but to reveal that God has never left your side, that His promises are still alive, and that your house has been set apart for something holy. Her presence will not be loud, but the Spirit behind her words will carry heaven's weight. She will be used to unlock doors you stopped knocking on, to point toward things you stopped praying for, and to hold space for healing you thought was no longer possible. You may find yourself remembering things you had forgotten. You may feel tears rise without warning, not from sadness, but from the relief of finally feeling seen. Your house will feel warmer, not because of the light outside, but because something deep within you is starting to glow again. That is what God is doing, lighting a fire in the quietest part of your soul, right there in your own home, through the soft steps of someone sent not by people, but by heaven. This house will become different, not because you redecorated it, but because God's presence will linger in every corner she touches. After she leaves, the air will still carry something new. You will sit in the same chair, walk the same floors, look out the same windows, but it will all feel different, not because the house changed, but because you did. God is using this encounter to remind you that He hasn't stopped writing your story, that what you lost wasn't the end, and that your home can still become the birthplace of something deeply beautiful. You don't have to prepare anything perfect for her arrival. You don't have to perform or pretend. What's coming doesn't require a flawless home, only a willing heart. All that matters is that you remain open to the movement of God, even when it comes in ways you don't expect. This woman may speak few words or many, but either way, your soul will know, this is holy. This is real. This is the moment I've been waiting for. What if you discovered a tiny, walnut-sized brain region holds the secret to endless wealth and success? Recently uncovered by groundbreaking research and once buried in classified files, this frequency is now available to anyone ready to listen. Imagine replacing worry and struggle with a life of financial ease and freedom. Interested? Click the link in video description and comments below to unleash this hidden brainwave and start attracting wealth right now. Let the house begin to feel lighter as heaven's presence grows closer. Let your expectations shift from fear to faith. And know this, she is coming not to bring an end, but a beginning. And through her, God will remind you that the most sacred miracles often begin in the simplest of places, through the quiet arrival of someone sent with love, truth, and a divine purpose meant just for you. Archangel Michael says, this message continues to be about the house you are living in, because what heaven has planned through the arrival of this woman will not only enter your home like a gentle breeze but will also move through your spirit like living water, cleansing what's been burdened and softening what has grown hardened. So open your heart as these words are sent with love and intention. There are moments in life when the most profound changes begin without any noise, without any signs on the outside, only a soft inner stirring that refuses to be ignored. You've been feeling it lately, haven't you? That quiet awareness that something is shifting, though you cannot yet name it. That's because heaven has been moving behind the veil of the ordinary, gently rearranging what you thought would never change, aligning people, moments, and even your very home for something holy that is about to take place. This house, where you have poured out your strength and endured silent battles, is now becoming the very place where God's love is about to settle like a calm after the storm. And the woman who is being sent, she will not come to impress you with grand gestures or lofty words. She is coming in humility, wrapped in grace, led only by obedience. She may not know why she feels drawn to your home, but God knows. Her steps are not random. Her arrival is the answer to cries you whispered in the dark, prayers you once prayed with trembling hands, and the deep ache for clarity that you've carried for too long in silence. Type 555 to receive blessings and miracles. She carries more than comfort, she carries a turning point. She has walked through her own wilderness, and it is from that place of deep knowing that she brings what your spirit has been quietly yearning for. Not a sermon. Not a solution. But the quiet, holy reminder that you are not forgotten, and that your home is being honored by the one who has never taken his eyes off you. Her visit will feel different, not just because of who she is, but because of who sent her. The house may still look the same, with the same furniture and the same lighting, but something sacred is going to rest upon it once she enters. It will be in the way peace settles in like a soft blanket. It will be in the stillness that no longer feels empty, but filled with something greater than understanding. You might not be able to describe it, but your spirit will feel it, the undeniable sense that God is closer than He has ever been, and that everything you once feared was lost is slowly being brought back to life. She may sit down beside you and say nothing at first, and yet that silence will carry healing. Her presence alone will speak louder than words ever could. That's how the Lord works when He wants to reach the deepest parts of a person's soul, not with pressure or performance, but with gentleness that disarms all defenses. You will not need to explain your pain. You will not need to justify your weariness. God already knows, and He is using her as a vessel to hold space for your healing. This woman's visit will not be an event, it will be a divine encounter. One that was written into your story long before the disappointments and delays. One that has been waiting for the right time, the right day, the right condition of your heart. And now, heaven has declared, this is the time. The atmosphere in your home is being washed in quiet preparation. The spiritual heaviness is beginning to lift. And in its place, the light of hope is returning. There may be emotions that rise without warning. Let them come. There may be tears you didn't expect. Let them fall. There may be parts of you that feel exposed under the weight of what she carries, not in shame, but in the safety of being fully seen and still deeply loved. This is not about judgment. This is about restoration. And every word she speaks, every glance she offers, every breath she takes within your walls, will be soaked in a presence that is not hers alone, it is God's. After she leaves, you will notice the difference. You will walk through the same doorways, but something inside you will feel lighter. You will sit in the same spaces, but they will no longer echo with the same loneliness. There will be a warmth, a nearness, a quiet assurance that something sacred took place, and that it was meant only for you. God has chosen your home to be the place where this turning point begins, and nothing about that is accidental. So be still. Breathe deeply. Let your heart rest in the truth that you are not being overlooked, and your home is not being passed by. God is stopping here, not just through miracles that happen in the skies, but through the soft arrival of someone who carries His heart, His timing, and His healing. This house is no longer just the shelter where you sleep. It is becoming the sanctuary where the next chapter of your healing begins. Type 444 if you believe in God's divine protection. Archangel Michael says, this is still about the house you are living in, because the woman who is about to step through your door is carrying a sacred assignment from heaven, and what she brings with her will not just comfort you for a moment, it will touch something eternal inside your soul and begin the unfolding of a divine shift, so keep receiving this message until the very last word. For so long, this house has quietly held everything you didn't know how to say out loud. Within these walls, your heart has carried the weight of memories that brought both joy and pain, hope and heaviness, victories and defeats. There have been moments when you walked from one room to another, not knowing what you were looking for, but feeling in your spirit that something was missing, something invisible, something sacred, something only God could provide. That longing, though unspoken, has not been ignored. It has reached heaven, and now heaven is answering, not through noise, not through crowds, but through the gentle arrival of one chosen soul. She is coming because God knows that words alone cannot reach the places that have been silently breaking. Her presence is not to fix what was broken, but to awaken what has been buried. She may seem ordinary, but what she carries is holy. Her spirit is filled with compassion, not from comfort but from experience. She knows what it's like to walk through fire, and because of that, the light she brings does not burn, it warms, it restores, it gently melts away the layers of weariness you've been carrying for too long. There is no need to fear her coming. You will not need to hide the messiness of your life. You will not have to decorate your pain or disguise your confusion. She is not coming to judge what your house looks like, she is coming to speak life into what your soul feels like. Every step she takes inside your home is guided by God's timing. Every glance, every smile, every pause, all of it will be used by the Lord to reassure you that your house has been seen by heaven, your pain has been heard, and your restoration has already begun. You may not even recognize the moment when the shift starts, because it will come so gently. It will feel like a deep exhale after holding your breath for too long. It will feel like sunlight entering a room that's been dim for years. You might not know what to say when she's near, and that's okay, because what God is doing in that moment goes beyond words. He is not trying to impress you with a miracle wrapped in noise. He is offering you something better, a holy interruption, disguised in simplicity, but soaked in divine power. There may be a moment when she speaks, and you will feel as if she's reading a page from your life that no one else has ever seen. Don't pull away. Don't close off. That is not her, that is the Lord, using her words to unlock what has been locked up in you for far too long. You don't have to explain everything you've been through. God already knows. And she has not come to gather details, she has come to deliver something sacred into your atmosphere, something that will not fade once she leaves. Type 2222 to open the door to new blessings. And when the moment ends and she walks away, the real wonder will begin. Because you will look around your house and it will feel different, not because anything has changed physically, but because everything has changed spiritually. The air will feel lighter, the rooms quieter, your heart less burdened. You will remember that something holy visited your home. You'll sit in stillness, not feeling empty, but full. You'll walk through your space and feel like you're no longer alone, because the imprint of God's love will remain in every corner. What if I told you financial freedom is not about working harder, but activating a dormant brain signal designed to draw abundance directly to you? Neuroscience proves this sound wave unlocks prosperity faster than any method known before. From unexpected cash to life-changing success, it's already helping thousands. Click the link in the video description and comments below to turn on the ancient money wave and create the life you've always dreamed of today. Heaven doesn't always come in the ways we expect. Sometimes it enters through the quiet voice of someone who barely knows what she's carrying, and yet what she carries is enough to change the atmosphere of a home, the direction of a life, and the temperature of a soul that had grown cold. This is what God is doing for you now. Not in a distant church, not in a crowded gathering, but right here, in the quiet of your house, through the heart of a woman who walks with the presence of God upon her. So don't dismiss the feeling that something holy is near. Don't silence the whispers in your soul. Let them grow louder, let them soften your spirit, and let your house become the place where God's presence is welcomed, honored, and embraced. What's coming is not temporary. What's coming is not emotional. What's coming is real, and it's for you. Heaven has sent a visitor, but more than that, heaven has sent a message. You are not alone, not now, not ever, and your house has been chosen for healing that will last beyond this moment. Archangel Michael says, this message still speaks about the house you are living in, because the woman who is being sent is not just coming into your space, she is being sent to carry something divine into your life, something God has wrapped in mercy and hidden in plain sight, something that will quietly anchor your soul and unlock what's been sealed. So allow this message to keep unfolding inside you, word by word. Your house may look the same from the outside, but spiritually, it is being visited by heaven's preparation. Every room, every object, every quiet corner is being gently touched by something unseen but deeply sacred. The walls that once echoed with silence are beginning to respond to the whispers of grace that have been poured over them. The stillness you feel is not absence, it is expectancy. Something is coming that is not meant to decorate your life, but to heal it from the inside out. You may not be able to describe the shift, but your heart is already responding to it. It knows what your mind cannot yet explain. Type 2121 if you trust God's plan for your life. This woman, the one heaven is sending, will not arrive with answers to every question you've asked. She is not coming to replace what you've lost or repair what others have broken. She is not a savior, but she is sent by the Savior. And that makes her presence different. She walks in the obedience of someone who has surrendered her own plans to carry out a higher calling. Her eyes will carry stories of her own pain, which is why her presence will feel so safe. Her hands have held sorrow, and because of that, she will know how to hold your silence with care. Amen.